So I wanted to take a moment to show you how I kind of run online singing lessons, how I make it work because I'm not there in person and I can't sing with you or play piano or any other kind of backing for you, but we still want you to get all the support and warm fuzzy goodness of singing with someone. And so what we do is we use the interwebs to our advantage, and I make you a shared folder. So we use a Google folder, could be anything, but that's what we use. I make one just for you. You have access to it. I have access to it. All your lesson notes go in there, all kind of important information, all the Zoom links, and all your resources that we're going to use for your lesson. So I want to show you what that is and how that works. And so I shall make me smaller and out of the way. And we shall, there we go, awaken. I'm going to guess that this one says Stephanie Sing Lesson. So this is for someone who hasn't started lessons with me yet. So you're going to kind of see what a folder would look like at the beginning before we start going. And it also is an example of what you'd get if you did have lessons with me. This is this is sent to Stephanie about 2 weeks before we would have our lesson. And this is what's in it. So I'm not going to go through these things. That's just information that we use in our lessons. This is lesson notes where I write down what we did in each lesson, any notes for what we might do next lesson, and also things that you might like to practice or work on. But lesson resources is what I want to show you, because this is all the music, all the tracks that you're going to use to learn the songs, to practice the songs, and we use them in our lesson so that you are still supported and have some music to play with instead of just picking notes out of the air and singing. So what's in here? We've got some warm-up. So this is a drone. I just love drones so much. The best thing about a drone when it comes to online lessons is that we can both play them you can play yours at your end and I can play mine. And because time doesn't matter in a drone, we can feel like we're bathing in the same sound. I can then sing, you call and response back, blah, blah. Drones are great. So a few little warm-ups. And we've got some little songs, kind of songs that we might work on as just kind of a technical exercise, but they're also funky. So we've got these here. What I've got here, ideas for songs for us to work on. So for someone who is already having lessons, this would be, 2 or 3 songs maybe that we're kind of exploring. In this instance, I've just you can see they've got titles in bold. And then underneath we have all these different versions. So you've got a with Rose, you've got a with Quiet Rose, and you've got an accompaniment version. Sometimes there's versions with metronomes or just cue recordings where I sing just the beginning of a phrase every now and then to keep you oriented. So I want to show you one of those. We'll do Sylvie. So the idea is that you're going to play this at your end in the lesson. So let's imagine we've warmed up, we've done good stuff, hurrah, hurrah. And now I'm going to say, let's do Sylvie to start off. And you can choose. You're like, oh, I'm not quite comfortable with that tune. I want you to sing with me, Rose. So you would click Sing with Rose. And what would happen is this. Now you could have downloaded this. Here's your download button up hither. And you can download that so you're not relying on interweb moment, but you're already obviously using it because you're having an online lesson. And you click play and haha, success. And it plays. Then you're just going to sing along with me in this instance. I'm still going to hear you clearly. Bring me little water, Sylvie. Such as. And then, once you get more comfortable, you might go to Quiet Rose version, which I'll show you. I'm sure you can imagine what's going to happen. It's going to sound exactly the same, except Rose is quiet. So it's still there. There's still something supporting you if you want that. But if you were singing with that, you wouldn't really hear me. You'd just hear that voice if you kind of stopped or you kind of weren't sure where to go for a note or weren't sure where to enter. And the accompaniment, I won't play it because I'm sure you can imagine what happens by now. It's just that, but without me singing. This works really well. And you end up with this phenomenal bundle of resources because you can use this to practice and learn your songs. And then we use them in the lesson so that you have something to sing with. Some of my students will actually play these tracks through headphones so that I'm literally only hearing their voice, whereas they have the full support of the backing track or me singing in their ears. So that gives me, like, I can hear them incredibly clearly in that instance, and they still feel fully supported. That's a kind of cool thing. It's not required, but it's funky. So that's how I use these resources for online lessons. Shall make me big again. And yep, that's it. I have some lesson spots at the moment, not too many. And may we all sing and be merry.